The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.
This is Denise Snowstrom, CEO and founder of Diversified Financial Solutions. Now more than ever, investment advice is needed. Not just where best to invest your money, but why. Are you investing for your future retirement? Are you retired and looking to maximize your income? Are you maximizing your income and concerned with leaving money for your loved ones? Are you investing for your retirement at the same time saving for your children's education and at the same time saving to buy another home? Are the markets in line with your goals? Are your goals ever changing? Please contact me at 631-758-8691. That's 631-758-8691, or visit us at diversifiedfinancial.biz. For over 25 years, I have been helping individuals, families, and business owners navigate through all market conditions with only one goal in mind, my clients. Visit me at diversifiedfinancial.biz or call Denise Snowstrom, founder of Diversified Financial Solutions, at 631-758-8691. That's 631-758-8691 for a conversation about my most important client, you. Hi, and thanks for tuning in today. You are listening to The Financial Chick Show, and I am the Financial Chick. My name is Denise Snowstrom, the CEO and owner of Diversified Financial Solutions, a full-service independent financial planning firm located in Medford. I am here live every Friday from 5:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. on 103.9 LI News Radio. Your Financial Chick is here to help you make better financial decisions and choices to improve your life and reduce your anxiety and stress about money. If you have any questions on anything we discuss here on the air, check out my website at financialchickshow.com or give me a call at my office at 631-758-8691. And please make sure to like us on Facebook at Diversified Financial Solutions. So we made it to Friday. It has been a super busy week. A lot of news and market activity this week, market up, down, and all around. We will dedicate the show next week to discussing what has transpired so far this year, from the new administration to Tesla to Bitcoin and all the other big news stories. But today, I am very happy to have a guest with me. Being a financial advisor that takes a holistic view to financial planning, I look at all aspects of a person's financial life. So addressing property and casualty insurance is part of that complete picture. We do not do P&C, property and casualty, in our office, so we work with agencies that can help our clients meet all of their needs. So I would like to introduce to you one of my strategic partners, Rick Braile from Bay Harbour Insurance Agency, located right here, well, not here, but close here, in Patchogue. So how you doing today, Rick?
Hi, Denise. Good. How you doing?
All right. Not too bad. You know,
That's
we
good.
didn't have as much snow this week, right?
It's melting.
It's really good. I know it's almost all gone. So are you a winter person yourself? Or?
I do a little bit of skiing, but I prefer the summer.
Me too.
More summer, yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same thing. The boating and the beach and all that kind of stuff. So we're closer to that time though. So we're good.
Yeah, almost.
So we're going to talk today. So why don't we just introduce yourself to my listeners. Tell them a little bit about you and a little bit about your firm.
Okay.
And
Okay, I'm Rick Braile. I am from the Bay Harbour Insurance Agency. I've been there 30 years. I don't know where the time goes, but the agency was started by my father and my former partner, Chris, both retired. We are located in Patchogue, in the village of Patchogue, right by the traffic circle on Waverly Avenue.
So you had all that in construction for a while. Yeah, that was a lot of fun, right?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah. We just went through it again recently. Yeah, but we provide property and casualty insurance, personal lines and commercial lines. We're an independent agency, which means we represent several companies, not just one. Mm-hmm. We're contracted with them, and we work to find the best coverage and the best prices for our clients. And by representing many companies, we are able to do that usually. So that's a little bit about us. And like I said, we've been there for 30 years, and
so we have a lot in common, because that's the same thing. I've worked for the big companies and went out on my own, and I love being an independent financial advisor, because the same thing, we can offer many different products and services, which really kind of gives you the clients the opportunity to get the best product, as opposed to the only product that we have to offer, right? So that's kind of interesting. So property and casualty insurance is an important part of a financial plan, absolutely no doubt. So tell us a little bit about why that is so true.
Well, property and casualty insurance is important. It's not the most exciting part of someone's financial plan. It's not like an investment where you're going to get all kinds of great returns, but it's important because it'll hopefully prevent you from losing money. It'll protect you from losses, like insuring your house properly and making sure you have proper liability coverage. And I've seen situations where people may have not had the right coverage. A situation comes to mind where I know someone didn't have an umbrella policy. They weren't insured with us. They had a big claim, and they had to pay a lot of money out of pocket. It was a liability claim, and that could really devastate someone financially. So
Absolutely.
It's important that people have the right coverages in place and review them periodically.
Yeah. I was going to say, always protecting those things you can't afford to lose. You know, if you have to replace a pair of jeans, that's one thing. But if replacing a house or a car, I mean, obviously that's a big thing. So, you know, although, car insurance is required, in homeowners insurance, that we're kind of forced to do those things, but it makes sense. So, there's ways that people obviously can save some money on their insurance. So that's always the biggest thing, cost. Everybody's concerned about how much it costs and all of that type of thing. So you want to talk a little bit about ways that we have these coverages. How do we know that we're paying the right amount of money for it?
Right. Good question. I know, we look at policies all day, and it's important for people to review their policies periodically, at least every year. And when I look at policies, a lot of times if someone's looking to save money, one of the first things I look at is the deductible. And I see a lot of situations where people have a $500 deductible or even a $250 deductible. And I usually recommend people take a $1,000 deductible. If it's not going to break you, if you can afford to pay $1,000 for a claim, take the $1,000 deductible. In a situation where someone has maybe a $250 deductible, the additional premium that they're paying compared to, say, a $500 deductible might be $100 a year. So in essence, what they're doing is they're paying $100 extra in insurance to cover $250 extra if there's a loss.
Right.
So it really doesn't make sense when you look at it from that perspective. But I always recommend high deductibles. If you could take the $1,000, take the $1,000. If you can go higher, consider that. Generally, if you go above $1,000, the savings starts to get smaller as you go above $1,000. But it's worth looking at.
Yeah. So and that's something people don't know. I mean, and a person like you can actually show them alternatives and see what the savings and if it makes sense.
Right.
That personalization. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. We pride ourselves on that. So, and other companies give discounts for home updates. If you have a new roof, if you have a new heating system, new electrical system, that sort of thing. There are discounts available for that with many companies. Alarm systems on homeowner policies, usually a discount for central station alarms, burglar alarms, fire alarms, that sort of thing. And then, like I said, we recommend reviewing coverages. Sometimes if people have an endorsement, it's called inflation guard or replacement cost. The dwelling amount on a homeowner policy goes up every year. Sometimes that dwelling amount can get to be too high. We usually don't recommend people reduce their coverage, but sometimes it gets to the point where people call us and say, my house is insured for, say, $500,000, but it's only 1,400 square feet, and I know it could be rebuilt for less than that. So in cases like that, sometimes there's room to reduce the coverage.
And sometimes too, right? People the land, the property that it's on, or the foundation. These are things that most likely probably wouldn't go away,
right?
Yeah. So, and a lot of, I should say, but insurance agents will inflate that sometimes for a higher premium, and that's not necessarily needs to happen.
Right. That's a good point you brought up. A lot of times people come to us, especially if they're going to a closing, they're buying a house, they go on a closing, the bank requires a certain amount of coverage on the property. And the bank's really concerned about their loan. They want to make sure their mortgage is covered in case the house burns down.
Right.
But a lot of times, what you want to insure the house for is replacement cost. What is it going to cost to rebuild that house? Because, like you said, if the house burns down, you're still going to have your land. And a lot of times the land is at a premium, especially if it's in a nice neighborhood, a good school district, if it's on the water. That the land is a significant part of that purchase price. So really you want to concern yourself with what it costs to rebuild that house in the event of a fire.
Right. So what would you say, like reviewing, how often would somebody review their policy? What would you say is a good time frame?
I would say every year. It's funny. I was thinking about it recently. I look at policies all day, and then I just had one of my policies come in recently in the mail. And I just kind of put it aside, So I'm like, here I am, an insurance agent, looking at people's policies all day. And then when my policy comes in, I kind of put it on the side. So
what do they call it? The shoemaker's
exactly.
son, right?
Yeah, right. So, but I would say every year, just take a look at it. Just do a quick review. And if, call your agent, just go over the coverages with them. And it's a good idea, definitely.
Yeah, I get it. Can't hurt. I mean, what's the worst case to say that, it really is not money that they can save you. But
right.
if you can, then, that's, you're
right.
in the money.
Exactly.
That's what you want to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and there's other ways to save money on insurance too. Like, on homes, there are these smart home devices that are getting to be more popular now, where they may shut off the water automatically in the case of a pipe burst or a water leak.
Okay. I didn't even know about that one.
Something like that, yeah. Okay. And then combining auto and home policies together helps out. So.
Okay. All right, so this is the financial chick, Denise Snowstrom, the company's Diversified Financial Solutions. We are closing in on the break, so please stay tuned. I'm going to have Rick from Bay Harbour Insurance Agency with me to talk more about property and casualty insurance. Welcome back. This is Denise Snowstrom, the Financial Chick. My company is in Medford, and you can reach me at 631-758-8691 or visit my website at financialchickshow.com. We are here to help you on your financial journey. Over the years, things change, and we are here to help you navigate all of those changes. So today, I'm here with Rick from Bay Harbour Insurance Agency, located right in Patchogue, and we are talking all about property and casualty insurance. Now, of course, you said, Rick, like it's not the most fun part, but I mean, it's fun to you, right? And it's a necessary evil. And I wouldn't put it down. I mean, It's something we all need, and we need that base protection to build all this other stuff that we do.
Exactly.
So it's pretty exciting. But one thing that we were chatting about, credit scores and insurance premiums. I think some people know, but I think a lot of people that are listening really don't realize how important having a good credit score is. And can you tell us a little bit about that and why that is important?
Yeah, that's a good point, Denise. I know credit scores do affect your insurance premiums, the prices that you pay. Almost all the companies today are running credit scores when you apply for insurance, whether it's auto insurance. It started with auto several years back, homeowners insurance, and even now on commercial insurance, I see it done. And basically what the companies have found is that there's a correlation between someone having good credit and someone having good claims experience. So what the companies have done is they've said, these people with good credit are going to get better rates, and they tier them that way. I have mixed feelings about it because I know sometimes people may have bad credit because of no fault of their own, whether it's medical bills or a loss of a job or whatever. But it is what it is. And, I tell people if your credit's good, it'll help you with insurance as well as other things, whether it's a loan or whatever.
Right.
And in a situation where it's a couple, a lot of times maybe one spouse has better credit than the other, so we can run the credit on both of them and see who gets the better credit.
Right.
And technically it's they call it an insurance score rather than a credit score. So it counts as what they call a soft hit on your credit instead of a solid credit hit. So
we had a question coming in that so does it mean that somebody that has bad credit is a bad driver? Is there any correlation to that?
It's companies have found that people with bad credit tend to have worse experience driving when it comes to claims.
Interesting.
And again, I have mixed feelings about it, but their studies have found this. So this is how they've set their rates up. And I would say if not all the companies are doing it. But again, I'm sure there are people out there with bad credit because of situations that have happened in their lives that are great drivers, very, very conservative, very defensive drivers.
Yeah, no fault of their own. But,
right.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's something to strive for. And if you don't know, because sometimes people say, I don't realize I don't understand why I'm paying so much, and never really putting the two together that it could be because of their credit score and, look into that's something that they might improve, and then they can save themselves money, which is always what we're trying to do in life.
Right.
So.
And I've had situations where people will call up and say, my premium went up, and, can you take a look at it? And we'll look and we'll see that they've been with us for like 3 or 4 years, and we can rerun the credit, or I should say the insurance score,
right.
and sometimes get them a better price keeping the same policy, the same company, and everything else. So because their situation has improved. So
another reason to go do that review again.
Exactly.
Very important.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
the set it and forget it usually doesn't work. So especially in property and casualty, because so many things change.
Right.
So one thing, we had one of these last year, a hurricane. So we'll talk a little bit about a hurricane deductible and what's that all about.
Yeah, hurricane deductibles, they came into play here in Long Island. Oh gosh, I don't know. I want to say maybe 20 years ago when Hurricane Andrew hit Florida. That was like a devastating hurricane that hit Florida. And companies started looking at that and saying, wow, if this hits Long Island, if a storm like this hit Long Island, we'd be really hurt. So they came out with these hurricane deductibles. And what they are special deductibles that apply in certain situations. And they're usually a percentage of the dwelling amount. So for example, if your house is $400,000, let's say the insurance amount is $400,000, and your hurricane deductible is 5%, your hurricane deductible would be $20,000. It's 5% of the $400,000. So a lot of people aren't aware of that. And the thing to keep in mind with hurricane deductibles is that the triggers are all different. There's no standard in New York State for what triggers a hurricane deductible. Some companies may have a total wind deductible, whether any kind of wind at all triggers a deductible. Other companies have Class 1 hurricane. Other companies may have a Class 2 hurricane. I think the last Class 2 hurricane to hit us was Gloria back in the 80s. But it's something people should be aware of. Should be aware of what kind of deductible they have, what the percentage is, how much they would have to lay out of pocket if a tree fell on their house, maybe crush the roof or something like that, and what would trigger that deductible, what wind speed.
I mean, the unfortunate thing is most people don't read their policy, and it's not until something happens that they look and they go, "Oh, wow, I didn't realize that was part of it, or that's not part of it."
Right.
Well, so it's being in tune to those things, I guess.
I mean, I'll put a plug in for insurance agents here. That's what we're here for. Just give us a call and we'll let them know.
Yeah. No, but that's important. And it's not something that somebody would ask you because they wouldn't know. It's one of those, I don't know what to ask the question is because I'm not sure about it.
Right. Yeah. A lot of people don't ask, and we try to inform them.
Yeah, absolutely. So, good job. So umbrella policy, that's something I know some of my clients have, some don't, but talk a little bit about an umbrella policy and why should somebody have one?
An umbrella policy is important. What it is it's a liability policy that goes over all of your other personal policies, your auto policy, your homeowner policy, if you have a boat, your boat policy. And what it does is it extends the liability coverage over and above those policies. So, for example, let's say you got into a bad car accident. Your teenage driver hit someone and was negligent. Then you're getting sued. The person got paralyzed or whatever. So you're getting sued for a lot of money. There's a good chance that your auto policy, the policy limits will be exceeded. And what that means is that if you don't have an umbrella policy, you'd be personally liable for that. And I've seen it happen. It's rare, but I have seen it happen. The umbrella policy comes in and provides an additional, usually $1 million coverage over and above the underlying auto or home policy. And it could be more than $1 million. It could be $2 million, $3 million. But it
depends on the person.
Right. It's an extra layer, and you could buy additional amounts. It's important because, again, like I said earlier, you work hard your whole life and you try to build an estate, your house, you pay off your house, you get some savings, and then you hate to put that in jeopardy because of a claim and not being properly insured.
Right. So. And I believe, comparatively speaking, they're pretty inexpensive.
Pretty cheap, right? Yeah. A couple $100 usually,
Yeah. So, I mean, it's almost like a no-brainer, I think, for most people. If you do own some type of property, home, cars, etc., it just should be part of the package.
Right. I agree. Yeah, they're inexpensive, and it really is. It makes sense to have them. Yeah. I agree.
And I guess that would kind of help too with like the, putting together all the policies. Does that help you if you couple all of those things together to reduce your premiums?
It does. Usually if you have your auto and home together, you get a discount if it's with the same company. Same thing with the umbrella. If you put the umbrella in there, some companies give a big discount if you have the umbrella on there. The umbrella, the premium can be cut in half almost if you combine those policies. So it's good to do. And we see a lot of people call us for umbrella policies when their kids get licensed. And it's kind of funny because they realize then that, wow, my son or daughter is out there driving my car and I don't know what they're doing. So,
all right, so I should up my umbrella policy in a couple of years. I have a 15, oh, she's going to be 15, okay, so yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Think about
Point well taken.
Yeah. So, But it's definitely a good policy to have. I agree. Part of a financial plan, for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, again, protecting those things you can't afford to lose. And we just never know, the stuff that's going to happen. And
right.
No, it's definitely good. So, talked a little bit about endorsements on homeowner policies.
Homeowner policies. One quick thing on the umbrella, I would say that if you have an umbrella policy now and your situation changes, let's say you have a son or daughter who gets licensed, or maybe you buy another house, a vacation house or something like that, I'd recommend calling your agent and just letting them know about the change, because it may raise the premium a little bit on the umbrella policy, but at least you'll be properly covered. If the company doesn't have the current information, you hate to jeopardize the situation, and you want to make sure that you're current on. The company knows what they're insuring. So
okay. All right. No, that's again important things that on the day-to-day most of us really, really don't know. So it's been super helpful, Rick. Thank you so much for giving all this great information. And I got to have you back because I think there was much more things that we could definitely talk about, but the show goes quick.
It did go fast. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
No, well, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it. And again, Kathy and Rick, they're a great team at the office. So tell them how they can reach you.
Reach us by phone, 631-758-1550, or you can look us up online. It's bayharbourgroup.com, and we spell harbor with a U, Harbour.
Excellent. Well, this is The Financial Chick. We're signing off. Thank you, Rick, and I look forward to seeing everybody next Friday.
Advisory services offered through Blackridge Asset Management, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities are offered through Peak Brokerage Services, LLC, member FINRA, SIPC. Blackridge Asset Management and Diversified Financial Solutions are separate and independent entities from Peak Brokerage Services.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.